Hello everyone, this is umonox, and like I've mentioned before, I'm starting to do those Digitakt tutorials now. Time with my family is over. I've played a little bit too much tennis. I feel it in my bones, mates. Yeah, but here we go. And in this first tutorial, it's about showing you how sampling and resampling on the Digitakt works. Now, just a quick side note, if you liked this video and if you enjoyed it, if it helped you, you can now support me on Patreon if you want, with a small donation of $1 or something. Just head over to my page, the link is in the description and also in the end of that video. And if you decide to support me, I greatly appreciate that, and I want to say thank you in advance. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's get started and let's have a look at how sampling works. It's actually pretty easy. I quickly clear something that I have in here from the beginning so we can start from scratch. I create a new project. So we are all set. And I have the Volca sample hooked up to the Digitakt, and I just want to quickly show you how easy it is to sample. So I turn this thing on, and at the moment everything's reset. The project is loaded with the default sounds assigned. Nothing spectacular. So how does sampling work? Well, the Digitakt has a recorder for that purpose, and you can find it with this knob right here. So when we press that, we are at the recorder level. And now with the recorder in place, we can start recording stuff. It's as easy as this. So just have a listen what happens when I press ARM. It starts to record the input with a ground noise that is on. I don't know if this is a bug or something, but let's just hit yes to record ARM. The threshold is down, so let's hit yes and hit yes again. And this is what we have so far. Basic ground noise, not so nice. So I hit function and no to discard this. Now, the cool thing about the Digitakt's interface is that everything is laid out so you can see what it actually does. Now, on the bottom row, we can see to switch the input we are recording from, we have to dial on button G, on knob G. So we can switch from X to L, X to R. Yeah, it's a little bit. Encoder acceleration is very bad, but I hope I get this fixed soon. So X to L, to X to R, to X to LR, and now to in L, in R, and in LR for internal resampling. So I switch to XLR so we can record this Volca sample. And to make sure that I hear the input, I have a monitor, and this is currently set to no. So when I play this thing, I won't hear the input, but I see that something's coming in. When I turn this on, I can hear the input at the same time. Very simple pattern actually. Now, there are actually two methods to record on that thing. First method is by using the threshold right here. You can see me dialing in this threshold to start recording once the input signal is exceeding this threshold. So let's play back a sample here, the kick drum for example. You can see its input is exceeding that threshold. So when I press yes, I arm the recorder, and now when I play that kick, it starts to record. And that's it. Now I just quickly hit yes to stop the recording. Now the recording is in the RAM, so to say, and I can play it back. Can trim start and end point of it if I wanted to, and everything. Go further in, zoom in and out, and yeah, that's how it works. And now saving the sample so that I can assign it is also very easy. You can see yes for trim because I started to trim something, so I press yes. Now the sample is trimmed. With function plus yes I can preview it. As you can see, it's always in the screen. It tells you which button combination or knob you should use to do something. So trimming start means I need to press need to dial on knob A and everything. Trimming the end, I need to dial on knob C. And zooming, when I'm in that trim mode, is done with the knobs between, as you can see. So it's always in the display, and it tells me to save it. I say yes, I save it, and I can give this recording a name. And I simply press yes, and it's done. And now the Digitakt tells me, do you want to assign this thing to a certain pad? And I say to a certain track, and I say yes, I want it to be on track 1. Done. I can go out of the recorder, and here we have that kick drum. Pretty basic stuff actually. I can do this on other tracks as well. So I go in here, my sample is still in there, so I clear it with function and no. So I'm still here, I can play other sounds. So let's take this one, increase its decay, and now I hit function plus yes, so that it starts to record right away. And now it's not waiting for that threshold to be exceeded, but it starts recording immediately. That's cool for if you have an input running, something like a radio, and you just want to wait for a certain point where you want to start recording. You just hit function and yes, and it starts recording right away. And I press yes again to have this thing inside. Now the ground noise that I've showed you in the beginning is only there if nothing's connected or if no signal is coming in. Once something is recorded, as you can see right here, once a signal comes in, the ground noise is removed, but it's also removed from the beginning. And yeah, I don't know if this is intentional, but this is another thing. So you can see that's where. Now I simply want to cut out a certain portion of that. Let's take this one and let's bring the end down. Let's zoom right in, find a good point. Something like this. Hit yes to trim it. Here's my sample. And hit yes to save it again with another name and assign it to track number 2. And that's it. That's how easy sampling is. Now, there's something that I should tell you about this whole thing. At the moment, it looks like the Digitakt is is not just sampling everything in mono, but it's also monitoring everything in mono. So that's a little bit of an issue. I was hoping for the input to be processed in stereo, but it seems as if the Digitakt is processing the whole input already in mono, and it's not just recording in mono. I want to show you what I mean. I have the MPC Live right here. I will start an empty project and quickly browse for an instrument, and I'm choosing, because I know this, I'm choosing this Keys X Road right here, and quickly remove that Walker sample here and put this into the headphone input. And now I'm playing this Keys Road. So let's go into the sampling section again. Input XL plus R is still selected. So I play this Keys X Roads. Let's have a listen. So that's it. And now have a listen how it sounds. Yeah, and now let's have a listen to how this thing sounds normally. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of stereo panning active, and although I still haven't recorded anything yet, just monitored the input, it's still completely summed down to mono. Now, when the overbridge suit is out for the Digitakt, I hope that this will change, because yeah, it would obviously be great to at least record the input via overbridge in stereo. But anyway, let's take this thing and yeah, let's simply put that thing in again, and let's sample something again. Let's actually take this thing and let's just let's just sample this Rhodes. So I hit yes to arm it, and I press this thing again. And that's it. Just to have something inside here in addition. Playing it back and trimming it. Zooming farther in. Seems to be starting right here. Yeah, I like that. And now I save it under a new name and assign it to track number 3. Yeah, now it's as easy as just putting a simple pattern in. I don't know. Yeah, something totally simple, you know. So you have seen it's actually pretty easy to sample the stuff from whatever source, and I can also select the input source that I want. So let's go on this G, let's choose input left, and or let's actually choose input right. And I have a very cheap microphone here, this one, pretty cheap, doesn't sound that good. So I quickly hook this thing up to the Digitakt now, and I take this other input, this other cable, and plug it right back into the Volca sample again. Now I'm on XR, so I'm hearing my microphone is going on. I'm hearing it now, and when I start to record, I just quickly hit function plus yes, or let's turn down the threshold. Something like this, so it starts recording when I'm talking. So I'm talking right now, and yeah, I'm talking and I'm actually recording. So that's it, and here's my recording. Yeah, I'm talking and I'm actually recording. Pretty easy. Same thing. Trimming this thing. Saving it. New name. Let's assign it to track number 4. Yeah, I'm talking and I'm actually recording. And let's do something with that LFO here on my voice. Yeah, just, you know, this is just fiddling around, and but this is how easy it is and how cool it is to get some sounds, and especially some glitchy things going on. Yeah, let's choose that one and do the same again. Let's vary this a little bit. Yeah, I'm talking and 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 I'm actually and let's play this backward, you know, and do a backward reverse loop. You get the idea, I think. And this is how quickly you can come up with some glitchy or even new sounds if you do it a little bit more elaborate. But yeah, that's how sampling works. And we can even sample those two inputs at the same time, but we are not sampling on different audio tracks. So it's a single audio file we are sampling to. So I put in XLR. Now those can be heard as well. And XL is this one, and XR is this one. This is my microphone, so let's put that one in and let's have a listen. So this is my microphone, okay, very cool. So let's start recording with a threshold here from this Volca sample. I press yes to arm it and I start recording, and you can see I cannot switch the source right now. So I'm recording actually the left input, so I have only recorded my Volca sample. I remove that and I switch to XLR, and now I can record my microphone and my Volca sample at the same time. Sounds like this in that case. Yeah, okay, that's me talking some stupid stuff. Okay, and here we go. But you can see my voice is very quiet in that case. So it can work if you have two monosynths hooked up or something like that, and they have roughly the same level. It should work that you can record them basically on the same track, basically into the same audio signal. Okay, so that's it for sampling. You have seen it's very easy, and let's therefore now move on to resampling. Okay, here we are, back again. Now I'm quickly turning my Volca sample off because I don't need this one anymore. And to show you how resampling works, I simply load a project from yesterday, I think, where I did a little drum loop, some minimal tech kind of stuff. It's not very complicated. It sounds like this. Just some very basic stuff. Now I want to do some kind of something with that loop. So let's actually start and let's go right in here. Now, cool thing is, as you can see, if I don't turn off the Digitakt and create a new project or load a new project, whatever I had recorded before is still inside the RAM. So that's the last thing we've recorded before, and it's still inside. So I could use this right now if I hadn't saved it. I could still use it, but I don't want to do it now, so I basically remove it. And resampling works in exactly the same way as regular sampling, but instead of choosing some XL or XLR, we are choosing the internal left and right thing. And I have this loop running, and have the threshold set round about here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's exceeding that threshold, so I keep it the way it is. I arm it, and I simply play it back. So that's it. It's inside. Yeah, easy as that. Now I trim it. Something like this. And I save it as a new sample and assign it to track 8, for example. I have it on here. Yeah, interesting. Whereas still that LFO active, which we had in before. So let's remove that thing real quick. Yeah, and the loop is also set. Yeah, it's actually reset that. Let's turn that. Like this is the start point. Yeah, that's the length, and this is the loop. Let's turn it off. Yeah, so that's it. That's the thing we have. Yeah, and now we can do the same thing we did before, and we can apply a filter or something. I think you get the idea. And obviously, I can start playing around with those loops again and do some glitchy kind of, I don't know, something, you know, just playing around. Setting loop point. And now using the LFO again, assign to the sample start, for example, and play it back. Or choose something else. something like the loop position. This is something that works better with some melodic elements, things where you have sound all the time. It's working much better, and it's getting into kind of granular synthesis. But yeah, just wanted to show you how easy it is to resample. And let's create a new project. I want to finally show you something. And I want to create some chords now. So this resampling is particularly well suited for creating some kind of chords. For example, with single cycle waveforms. Let's take this kick drum and let's make it shorter. So let's bring the length down and make it really short. And activate the loop. Single cycle waveform with no hassle at all. And one thing I would like to have right here in the sample editor, when in the recorder, when we want to trim our sample and everything, we have some nice, as you can see, we have some nice zooming going on. We can zoom and everything and really focus on those waveforms, but in the actual sample playback page, we don't have this option. Now, it would be great if I would add this right here too, but anyway, let's get in. Okay, now we have that kick drum applied. Let's quickly work on that envelope. You know that I like plug sounds. And on the delay, just a little bit, you know, just something. And now, creating chords is actually very easy. I have the sound that I like, so I go to import and export sounds. Now, this is the page you see when you click on this import export button right here. Here you can save, restore and clear your pattern and everything. And down here is import and export, where you can manage your sounds. And there is a shortcut for that by hitting function and this page. So I export the sound to a new sound location, and I have it right here. And now I simply load it to those 2 additional tracks right here. So I go into this page again, hit import sound, choosing this sound, press yes, and I press this track, and I press yes again and press this track. Now 3 times the same sound, and now it's just a matter of yeah, putting individual triggers on the individual tracks and actually changing their notes. So I go to the trick page, and this is the bass note on C, and I want this note to be on D sharp. It's going up, so D sharp, and on this one, and I want it to be on G. That's a classic minor chord, as far as I can tell. And it sounds like this. Yeah, and I now simply extend the pattern page and work on the second page and change this chord again. I don't know, putting this up. I'm not good at music theory, so I always have to try out if it works, you know. But I think this could work. Yes, this is A. I think this could work. Let's have a listen. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. And yet again, resampling the stuff is actually very easy. Just going back to the sample page, clearing it, sample recording, the recorder, and yeah, just pressing yes, arming it, while I've selected the source to be internal, left and right in the first place. And now I simply hit play. And it has recorded my stuff. Yeah, and that's it. Here's my loop, so to say. And now I can obviously go in here and I can save it again, assign it to another track, mute those tracks, and here it is. Adjusting the trick length. Yeah. See? And I can place a trigger right here, and I can place a trigger right here, and I can now go to the sample assign to the source here, and I can parameter lock the start page. I can parameter lock the start point to actually fire up those chords. And this is what I meant. It would be cool to have a zoom in here, so yeah, that we can see this a little bit better. But it's obviously better when just having this, you know, because this is the page without the waveform display. So we would be forced to use the length parameter and the start parameter right here, and it's much easier to see a little bit of that waveform, you know. So playing it back, it would sound like this. As you expected. Yeah. But it's pretty basic, really pretty basic stuff. I just wanted to show you that it's really easy to resample the stuff and everything, and this is how it works. Sampling is totally fast, resampling is totally fast, and whenever you create a new project, if the Digitakt wasn't turned off, the last thing you have sampled into the recorder stays inside that recorder until you hit function and no, so that it's gone. Yeah, and one other point is, if you want to find those samples where you have stored them, it's actually pretty easy too. Just go to this project menu, so to say, to the settings if you want, and here's the samples page, the samples thing. And this is your basic, yeah, this is your basic folder structure, and incoming is where the samples are getting in when you send them into the Digitakt via USB. And recorded is the folder which is created once you start recording your first sample. And in here, all of those samples are available. And if you want to move those samples away, so if you want to not have them in this folder anymore, you can simply go in here and press the right key. And you can say select for move. So select some samples, go in here and say select for move. Now I go out, I go to another folder. Let's quickly delete this one. And I click on the left button and say move here. So now the samples are basically moved away from this recorder, from this recording directory. And that's the way how you can manage them. So it's inside right here. And yeah, so that's it. I hope you liked that video, and I would say thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye.